Kumusta for me? This is Avor Joseph and welcome to News I Deem Worthy Recap Weekly Edition number 9. The summarization of the news starts from the headlines for the 23rd to 29th of July 2023. Kahit maganda na for the blazing selective summation. This is the news headlines for Sunday 23rd of July 2023. This is the news headlines for Sunday 23rd of July 2023. Bagyong Egay ravages through the country. Bagyong Egay ravages through the country. There's a new typhoon in the archipelago and his name is Egay. International name, Doksuri. The 5th tropical cyclone this year and second formed this July, affecting thousands of residents throughout the region. The effect of this typhoon is felt all throughout most of the Philippines as it ravages industries including hundreds of millions worth of products, services, and disruption along with more than a dozen deaths. Typhoon Egay prompted many provinces and island municipalities to stage relocation for will-be-affected groups by the incoming surge of the cyclone, with many interruptions in life, economy, and commodity interruption with regards to relocations and disruption of normal life, fishermen, and grid lines at risk of damage from the tropical cyclone. This is the news headlines for Monday, 24th of July, 2023. Second SONA of PBBM. Second SONA of PBBM. The second State of the Nation address of President Bongbong Marcos was heard by the public Monday around 4 p.m., highlighting achievements made and happened coinciding his terms and first year in office. Lots of protests, protesting the usual stuff like worker rights, the PUV modernization program, etc, etc. I wanted to make a short regarding this SONA, but I just watched The Voice like all weekend, maybe 3 days of that. And so, did you miss this in SONA 2023? In the second SONA of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., he highlighted the achievements done under the first year of office. He highlighted a 7.6% growth in 2022, the highest in 46 years. They're projecting around 6-7% this year. Inflation rate slowed down from 8.7 to 5.4% along with unemployment. Plans for bridges around 90 kilometers connecting the archipelago, including railway projects of more than 1,000 kilometers in length. With the flagship bill, MIF profits will be reinvested to BBM, STA infrastructure, among other things. We also finally have a unified national grid connecting Luis V. Minda's electrical power grid. Proud of the new agrarian emancipation bill, also giving 32,000 titles for 27,000 farmers. He highlighted his Kadiwa programs providing cheap alternatives to 1.8 million families, along with the launch of the pilot testing of the food stamp program. He blames smugglers and hoarders for rampant inflation of agricultural goods, promising no leeway for corruption and incompetency in the government. The administration is said to be recalibrating the K-10 curriculum to ensure equality education and learning from millions of learners. These are the news headlines for Tuesday, 25th of July, 2023. 18 courtesy resignation accepted, DBM presents potential 5.8 trillion peso budget, and Ferdinand Marcos Magellan Jr. heads to Malaysia. 18 courtesy resignation accepted. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has accepted, like he said he will in his SONA, the courtesy resignation of officials in the PNP allegedly involved in illegal drugs, though most of them, 13 out of the 18, still remains in their occupying position. This mass courtesy resignation drive was launched by the Department of Interior and Local Government or DILG Secretary Benjamin Abalos Jr. in January 2023 because of alleged involvement in illegal drug trade. DBM presents potential 5.8 trillion budget. The Department of Budget and Management or DBM has presented the Office of the President the 5.8 trillion National Expenditure Program, around 10% higher than the previous year, containing a myriad of wish list items to be presented to Congress because, as we all know, constitutionally, only the House of Representatives can propose bills, and having your literal cousin as the House Speaker, Martin Romualdez, will be also convenient. Just like last time, Ferdinand Magellan Jr. heads to Malaysia. The infamous Portuguese explorer Ferdinand Magellan Marcos Jr., accompanied by the First Lady, heads to Malaysia for a 3-day state visit, accepting invitation by the Malaysian King Sultan Abdullah Sultan Ahmad Shah to build relationship, trade partnership of the two Southeast Asian tigers. I mean, they have royalties? I don't know that. These are the news headlines for Wednesday, 26th of July, 2023. Hontiveros wants to file resolution against China, and DILG 4.7 million benefited from anti-poverty measures. Hontiveros wants to file resolution against China. Senator Riza Hontiveros seeks to excite colleagues to pass a resolution against mini invasions, harassments, and incursions of the People's Republic of China's shipping vessels in the West Philippine Sea to the United Nations. Though I don't really know what good would the resolution would do in any way, shape, or form. We are literally helpless with that. I mean, we have won the arbitral ruling like 2016 or 2017. Nothing will change. And even almost all of EU has already upheld the decision of the arbitral ruling back in 2017 or by citing definitions of our EEZ or exclusive economic zone in the country's archipelago. And although Alan Peter Cayetano has already said, don't poke the bear or panda, and even if I agree with his statement that nothing good will come out of this, and it would be just like us protesting without actually having to do anything, nor are we even being able to do anything, I still hate that attitude. Though that is my attitude. DILG, 4.7 million benefited from anti-poverty measures. According to the Department of Interior and Local Government Secretary Benjamin Abalos Jr., around 4.7 million people has benefited from anti-poverty measures instated by the government, from financial assistance to roads, water sanitation systems, educations, etc. And sure, they benefited from it, but the term benefited is a loaded word. What do you mean by benefited? Did they stay benefited? Or did they once benefited from it and now they don't? Just so that they could say they benefited from it. The thing is, with this sly tactics and double speak, we can't really trust the government, especially since considering 4.7 million out of what? 110 million? That's not that much. That's not a lot, just saying. This is the news headlines for Thursday, 27th of July, 2023. National emergency in Mindanao lifted. National emergency in Mindanao lifted. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has lifted the state of national emergency due to the spate of lawless, such as by branded bandits, warlords, private armies, criminal syndicates, terrorist groups, and religious extremists in many parts of Mindanao, placed by former President Rodrigo Duterte last 2016 because of, quote, considered improved peace and order situation in the region. Now, some examples of those spate of lawless acts and terrorisms turning it into considered improved peace and order situation in the region includes the Dawla Islamiyah, an ISIS-affiliated group, has their leaders dead, and the end of the Marawi siege due to terrorism, though those are most probably after the fact being the state of national emergency placed down in parts of Mindanao from Rodrigo Duterte. This is the news headline for Friday, 28th of July, 2023. Passenger ferry capsized. Passenger ferry capsized. A passenger ferry or motorboat, Aya Express, going to Bagyong and Rizal has claimed the lives of dozens of people with many more missing. They were in Laguna de Bay. It has been found that according to the PCG, MBK Aya Express had a maximum capacity of 42 passengers while actually carrying 66 during the tragedy, while only declaring 22 persons on the boat. These are the news headlines for Saturday, 29th of July, 2023. Muntinlupa court denies appeals against the Lima, and President Marcos declares PH Space Week. Muntinlupa court denies appeal against the Lima. The Muntinlupa Regional Trial Court has denied the Department of Justice's appeal against the Lima's acquittal in one of the two charges she was acquitted. It shall be noted that the Lima was acquitted of 2 out of the 3, the third one being ongoing, charges against her since her detention back in February 2017, which is most likely because of Duterte's animosity against her investigating the Davao Death Squad back when Duterte was the mayor of Davao City. For so long has she been in detention for, at least for the 2 bogus charges by the administration, allegedly, of course. Her third and final charge is still ongoing. The previous judge overseeing the case inhibited himself as it was found that it was his brother who did the affidavit implicating the Lima of the crime, which was found and admitted to be false. That's a third case, and what oversight was that? That there may be some conflict of interest regarding that particular scenario. The second judge after him was also the judge of the first and second acquittal, which the prosecution petitioned to recuse himself from the case, or voluntary recusing yourself in a form of stepping down as the overseer of said case. And as they say, I'm basically paraphrasing here, the previous acquittal may carry on the impression of innocence beyond the evidence laid inside the trial, because it should be confined to what is inside the case, not because of the previous acquittal made by the same judge, which is, I think, Judge Alcantara. I'm not really sure. There may be bias because of the previous acquittal made by Judge Alcantara. Free Leila de Lima now. I mean, she's been there for like almost 6 years. Or more than 6 years. Isn't this enough? Duterte isn't even inside the Malacanang Palace. President Marcos declares PH Space Week. President Marcos Jr. has declared August 8 to August 14 every year as the official Philippine Space Week. Doesn't really mean anything. Doesn't really do anything, if I'm being completely honest. Basically, it's to promote curiosity in space, scientific, technological, and mathematical awareness to Filipinos. Okay, they're aware. They can't do it. What you gonna do? Force ROTC? Mandatory ROTC? This is just a mema news because I couldn't find any more news that doesn't relate to the Typhoon Egay and the tropical depression, which actually just became Typhoon Falcon. But a Proclamation 302 signed on Tuesday says there is a need to promote space awareness, celebrate the significant contributions of Filipinos worldwide in the field of space science, and espouse the value, benefits, and impacts of space science and technology, the application on the lives of Filipinos. Just like the pala, do you know that one? Bravo, bravido. It doesn't really affect anything. It's like saying there's a National Hot Dog Month in July. It doesn't really push me to eat hot dogs. I'm not Joey Chestnut, okay? And that's the end of the news I Deem Worthy recap weekly edition from July 23rd to July 29, 2023. Mag-suggest some more topics and or corrections to the balitas if you feel I misrepresented them in any way, shape, or form. Salamat sa mga panonood mga kabayan. For me, like, subscribe, and follow my links sa socials and for Joseph that will be linked down below. Sa susunod ulit, paalam.